welcome to episode 7. Today I went to meet with a friend, and while I was waiting for her, I took a walk around the park near where we were supposed to meet, and I noticed the ducks just like gliding on the water. And then I remember the thing about how ducks are paddling furiously under the water, but on the surface it looks like they're just gliding smoothly. And so I looked some more and actually saw that in real life, like the ducks paddling so furiously underwater, but on the top they seem so calm and cool and collected. And that gave me a thought which I'm going to talk about in this episode. Whew, that was a long intro. But it got me thinking about the many ways that this applies to us as human beings, from putting on a mask to hide our emotions or the things that we're struggling with, or how on the other hand it can be like you're putting in so much effort into doing something and then the results come and then everybody's like, this person just blew overnight, or an overnight success, and those kinds of things. And it was a very profound moment for me because I thought about how I went through some difficult situations from like 2021 to early 2023, but many people who encountered me in that time, encountered is not the very word, I don't know, that's why that's the word that came to my mind, but anyway, many people who encountered me in that period would not have known that I was going through so many things that I was going through. In fact, some of the people that I told after the fact, they were shocked. Like, they would not have ever thought that that was happening. I remember that one day I just broke down in my church home group and just went on a rant, and I was crying. And my home group leader was like, "What?" And I asked myself now, that why did I not share this burden that I was carrying and all the things I was feeling with other people who I trusted, by the way. And I still don't have an answer for that. And it's something that I am still exploring with myself. Like, why didn't I tell the people who were closest to me about these issues that I was facing, and presenting on the surface that I was okay and everything was fine? And it's not that I was like everything was fine 100%. I shared bits and pieces with people, but I didn't give the full picture of the situation. So while they knew that, oh, I was not 100% okay, they thought it wasn't like that bad when it was that bad, because I didn't tell them it was that bad. But yeah, so that is one part. Like, why do we're struggling, using all our strength and all our power and everything to try and stay afloat, but to everyone else we're fine. We don't seem like we're drowning, but really we are. And we really need to not do that. Like, be willing to tell people, ask for help, seek help. And I talk about this all the time, so I don't know why it was so hard for me to do it. I guess a part of it was like a feeling of shame, of feeling shameful about me experiencing those things, feeling ashamed about the fact that those were the things I was experiencing and how I was feeling, and all the things that happened as a result of that. But yeah. And the other side of the paddling thing is when we put in so much effort, we're taking courses, doing things, grinding, taking the a new step every day, putting in our best efforts in everything that we're doing every day, showing up even when nobody's watching, doing everything that we need to do, doing everything that we know how to do, seeking help, collaborating with people, working on things, creating things, doing all these amazing things in the background without applause, without any awards or anybody saying well done or anything, just doing our best every single day and putting in so much effort and work into building a great foundation for ourselves. And like they will say, opportunity meets preparation. So just doing the best that we can, and then all of that compounds into something and catalyzes, and one day, suddenly, quote unquote, suddenly, you have some kind of acclaim or awards or rewards or popularity or income or something, and people are like, oh, an overnight success. So it's that image of you have been paddling furiously with your life and your strength and everything in you underneath the water, but then on the surface, everybody then sees just the smooth gliding. And I feel that it's important to talk about the journey to where we are, and not just, oh, suddenly I'm in this organization, or suddenly I won this award, or suddenly I made X amounts in annual revenue for my business or whatever. But to talk about the lows and the mistakes and the struggles and the efforts that went into doing that, because it didn't just happen in the blink of an eye. Sometime during the week, I had a podcast interview with someone else for a podcast they're doing about people who studied psychology and what they're doing now to help their students. They're a lecturer in a university, and just to help their students see that there are multiple career paths. And I was talking about my own experiences and how I had been laid off twice, and many things that happened in the middle of all of those things, but finding my way back up and everything. And it was just a moment where I thought about how many people don't talk about these parts of the journey. And I guess it's because people don't want to talk publicly in the open about their failures or their negative experiences. But maybe there are smaller groups and smaller ways in which these stories can be told, so that people who are going through those kinds of experiences can see that there is something after, like this low place, this struggle, this continuous showing up and putting in efforts, even though it seems like there's no reward and nothing is coming out of it, that there is a reward in the end. And even though everybody sees you just gliding, there was some paddling under. So yeah, basically, I'm encouraging us to, whether in the highs of our lives or the lows of our lives, to call people in, to allow people see the beneath the surface of the water, to allow people see the parts where we're paddling. And this doesn't mean on a global stage or on a podcast or or something that everyone can see necessarily, but at least the people who are closest to us, who are nearest to us and dearest to us, and that we can trust with these parts of our lives, we should be more willing to share those parts with them. Bye. I forgot to say yesterday's podcast episode on hanging out with friends was inspired by my friend Adenike. We were talking for like over an hour on the phone, and I was like, oh, what should I talk about on my podcast today? And she said that topic, and that is what I spoke about. So yes, send me suggestions if you want me to talk about something, and I'll give you a shout out. Bye. Thank you for joining me on today's episode of A Couple of Things. If you enjoyed this episode or found any part of it insightful, don't forget to share with your friends on your social media, and be sure to leave a comment or a review if you can on your podcast listening app. Thank you.